Krásny večer. Good evening. Let me welcome you all. This is our third webinar. This webinar is part of the program called Youth ESG Academy. And this program is piloted here in Slovakia this year, and it's also part of the Erasmus project, and we have several partners here, and I'm very glad that this third webinar is called Biodiversity, because it will be presented by the partner from Croatia. And I'm very glad that the audience here is mixed. It's not only Croatia, it's not only Slovakia, and it's not only youth. There are also, I can see also youth workers. So I really look forward to today biodiversity webinar. And now I ask Vedrana to maybe tell us more about, just a bit about permacultura Dalmatia, or maybe if Marco is here, Marco, you can I see you. Marco, you can introduce permacultura Dalmatia as an organization, and then Vedrana can take a lead.
Okay, thank you, Simona, for first of to have us as partners in this project, and to give us opportunity to talk more about biodiversity to several European countries. As for the permaculture Dalmatia, we are an NGO here based in Split, Croatia. We are 11 years old. We have a lot of activities in our portfolio. Mainly we started with permaculture design course here in Dalmatia, and more than 10 courses were run by us here in the Dalmatia area, south of Croatia, for those who doesn't know. Also, there are a lot of topics about gardening, agriculture, and sustainable communities, and everything. I will lose your 16 minutes if I will start talking about every activity that we are doing or plan to do. So I will wish Vedrana luck for today's presentation, because I think this is the first time she's talking about biodiversity in public. So be gentle.
On English, I said.
Especially on English.
Yeah. Thank you for your participation, that you came to this webinar. As you heard, I'm Vedrana. I'm in Permaculture Dalmatian organization. If you are not familiar with the term of permaculture, let us know, then maybe we can organize another webinar or lecture where we can talk more about permaculture and what permaculture is. Today we will go through the topic of biodiversity. Through this presentation, I will show you the construct of the lesson plan that you can carry out with your youngsters that you work with or you educate. And for the people that are not educators or youth workers right here participating on this webinar, you will hear more about the topic of biodiversity, and you will see the practical maybe activities that you can carry out yourself also, or it's better in a group with maybe family, friends, in school, wherever you are. So a little bit of the introduction of this lesson plan. So this is an educational module that introduces children and young people to biodiversity, the variety of life on Earth, and its vital role in healthy ecosystems and human well-being. Well, through activities, through the presentation and examples and the work group that will be presented to you today, participants can explore causes, consequences of biodiversity loss, and practical ways how we can preserve biodiversity. During the lesson, participants will be encouraged to think critically, act in a group like they will act in a community, and to become hopefully active stewards of nature in their community, in their neighborhoods, or in their schools, perhaps. After, just a minute, I need to map. Here you can see the learning goals that in summary I told you about this, and now I would like to introduce it to this lesson through this one game that you can carry out in person or like this online. This will be the first time I'm doing this online. The game is called Web of Life. Maybe some of you heard about this game. So usually when you are in person, when you work with people, with children or adults also, it's quite amusing for adults also. The point is that to every person, you assign one element from nature. Is it a plant? Is it an animal or microorganism or part of the ecosystem of any kind? And they stay in a circle. You give them a ball of yarn, and then they need to say which element they are. And they need to find another person that is connected to that element. For example, I'm grass, I'm throwing the ball of yarn to the rabbit that eats me. Today we will try it online, but before that, just one tip: if you are working with a large group of people, like we did it this summer, we had 60 participants that we organized this Web of Life game activity. It's much easier and neater if you give to the participants the cards. If you prepare the cards with elements and how they are, to whom or to what they are connected, and please make sure that the ball of yarn is long enough, because we squeezed a lot during that activity. I will try now this activity to carry out online. So please have patience and understanding. In the chat, I will chat just a minute. Here it is. I will give you a list of elements from nature. And I would like you to write down your name next to the one of the elements. I know no one wants to be earthworm, but please, we don't have time to pick the favorite animal or plant. So try to put your name next to the one of the elements. Don't be shy. It's entertaining. It's nothing. You don't have to know the correct answers. There are no pluses or minuses here. Thank you, Simona. Others are shy. Do we have all 20 elements? No? Don't be shy. Okay, we will try like this, but it would be great if for this activity, because this is good for you to know if you are carry out this activity online. It is more effective if all the cameras are on. Great. Simona, do you see if people open their cameras or they are still shy? Great.
Some are still shy.
Oh,
That's normal.
we will try like this. I won't call by name now. So I will share now. Do you see my screen now?
Still presentation.
Still presentation. Okay.
Mhm.
Just a minute. And now? Is it changed?
Yep.
Okay, now I will need your voices also. Please don't be shy.
Mhm.
Who is the oak tree? Oak tree, don't be shy.
Anita probably. Oh, Marco is.
Other Marco.
Other Marco.
But he doesn't have a camera. He wrote in the chat.
Okay, but can he tell me? Can he tell me with which element here listed is he connected to? Please write down. If you don't want to talk, write down. To all of them. Please pick one, Marco. Mushroom sounds good. Okay, there is mushroom. Here is mushroom. Who is mushroom? With whom are you connected? Write it down if you don't want to talk.
I don't see any mushroom.
Okay, with Marco, Kike, you can be mushroom. Okay, tell me with whom or what are you connected to? Earthworm. Earthworm, okay. Earthworm, do we have earthworm?
Barbara.
Hedgehog. Okay. Hedgehog,
That's me.
that's you.
I don't know. I'm connected with clover.
With?
Clover.
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 Okay. Clover, do we have clover? Okay, it can be connected to the rabbit. Do we have a rabbit?
I don't think so.
Okay. I see this will take a long time. Okay, the main point is that through this activity, you connect all these elements together. And why I ask you to put your cameras on, because why it's effective when it's on. When we remove one element from this web, as for example, we remove B, then person who is B turn off his or her camera, and so goes on. So it shows connectivity, and it shows how it affects if we remove any element from the web. But okay, I will know this for the future, that this could happen. But it's a great activity if you want to introduce and to engage youngsters in the topic of biodiversity, because it gives them a kind of visualization how it works and why biodiversity is really important. Now I need to go back to my presentation. Okay, this is the presentation.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity means the variety of all living things on Earth, from tiny bacteria to giant whales, from plants and fungi to insects and humans. It's not just about how many species exist, it's also about differences within species, like different kinds of fruit, different kinds of rabbits, different kinds of fishes, and etc. And it's also about the different ecosystems like forests, oceans, or deserts. Well, we didn't manage to go through this activity before, but in a simple way to say, biodiversity is nature's web of life. So every plant, every animal, every microorganism is a thread, and all threads are connected. So if we remove one thread, the web becomes weaker, and after one to another thread, the web is weaker and weaker until it collapses. We have three types of biodiversity. So even if two individuals belong to the same species, they are not identical. They are different. They have different genes. That makes them unique, and you can look at the diversity within a species is like having many options in a toolbox, which helps the species survive challenges. When I say that genetic diversity helps species survive challenges, what do you think I mean by that? Why is it important that within one species we have different genetic biodiversity, individuals with a different genetic code? Let me say it like that. Animal Oshin, hello.
Hello. Yes, so for example, now in time of changing climate, it's very important that we have different genetic profiles within a species. So some of them, for example, tomato, some tomato will bear better, some will do worse, depending on water levels, sun, and all the other factors.
Yes, that's correct. So when we have this diversity, it gives us possibility that at least one or two individuals within the species survive. If there's any diseases or during the climate changes or disasters, there is possibility, much more possibility that the species will survive because they can adapt to the situation. So that's why, that is what I wanted to say, why monoculture is not a good thing, not just in the big ecosystems, but also in your gardens, because if you have monoculture and 1 year diseases, some pests spread out, when you have diverse types of plants in your garden, the possibility that not everything will die and that you will have some crops helps you. The diversity gives you possibilities too. Also, when we are looking at the communities or the society, diversity really matters, because all of us have all our wisdom, knowledge, we have knowledge that we can share, and united we can do much more than as a single person. Species diversity is not about how many, it's about how many species live in one place. Each species has its own job, its own role that helps the ecosystem function, like a players in a sport team. On a meadow, you have bees, you have pollinating flowers, birds that eat insects, then you have worms that enrich the soil, and foxes controlling the rabbit population. If one of these species disappears, the whole system is affected and in danger. Ecosystem diversity, we have different types of ecosystems, and like you can see on these pictures here, you have forests, you have wetbeds, you have ocean, deserts, and let's think about those ecosystems are like neighborhoods of home. Forest is a house for deer, owls, or fungi. Oceans are home for fish and sea turtles, and the wetland is a nursery for frogs and birds. If we lose one type of ecosystem, all species living there lose their home. Just like city or place where we live, we have different elements like streets, parks. Some of them have rivers also that we need to function. That's how our planet needs a variety of ecosystems to keep nature balanced. What do you think? What would world look like without diverse plants and animals? Would we have photographs like this, those beautiful photographs that are so diverse and different? Tough audience. So why is the biodiversity important? It keeps ecosystems healthy and balanced. Each species has a role, like actors in a movie or players in a team. So bees pollinate plants so we can have fruit and vegetables. Worms enrich the soil so plant can grow. Predators keep prey population under the control. Biodiversity provides us with food, with medicine, with materials, and they give us basic needs for food, health, and shelter. And if there is no biodiversity, if there is no diverse species, it will be much more harder to meet our needs. Like for example, most of our food depends on plants, depends on pollinator, and many medicines are made out from the plants, fungi, or animals. Even you use natural patterns and examples of how animals build their habitats, and we use it in architecture also. So we copy-paste their design so that we have more efficient infrastructure or buildings. It helps nature to adapt. So, as you heard, if there is no genetic diversity or differences within species, life wouldn't be so resilient as it is in places where there is a diversity present. I'm sorry. So diversity helps us also for us to adapt. It helps us protect from climate change, new diseases, or other global challenges. And we, as a part of the nature, we find in the nature inspiration. We enjoy walking in nature. We practice different activities in the nature, and it's proved that the nature and is essential for our physical and mental well-being. What are the threats to biodiversity? Can anyone tell me if maybe they have example of something like this in their country, in their neighborhood? Do we see maybe do we see results of pollution? No? Habitat loss, what happens? Martina, please.
I think pollution is a big problem everywhere in Europe, basically, and in habitat loss, maybe the deforestation.
Yes, you're right. So when we cut down the whole forest, what we lost? What happens? What can be the consequences of that?
The animals don't have a place to live.
Yeah, they lose their habitats. And what about climate? So when we forests, oceans, those are great carbon sink. I don't know, did you hear about that term? So they absorb a lot of quantities of carbon dioxide, and they absorb other greenhouse emissions, and they help us to have a balance regarding the climate. Forests, the root system, they keep the soil together, they prevent the risk of erosion and mudslides during the heavy rains. When we remove all the vegetation, there are a much bigger risk of floods, and overpopulation caused also over-exploitation. So our demands for food, for place to live, get us to the point where more and more species extinct or are near to the extinction because our needs are bigger and bigger. So maybe we should think and act responsible and not be so arrogant and think what we need, not what we want. Because if you overexploit any ecosystem, you are in danger of losing that species that then have this ripple effect when other plants or other animals that provide them food, they also are in danger. And if you see the pollution, if you are talking about pollution, plastic in ocean kill marine animals. We saw many of such situations. Pesticides harm bees, and then insects that pollinate plants. And if we don't have pollinators, then we don't have enough vegetation that feed us and the animals that live there. And invasive species, if you import a species that is not your native, most of them have tendency to spread very, very quickly, and they suppress the native species. For example, here in Croatia this summer, there was found a brown algae that is from Red Sea, I think. It's her habitat, not Adriatic Sea. And they found out that near island Vis here in Adriatic Sea, it spread so quickly that it has created a monoculture on a seabed and suppressed local species. So we need to be careful even with the species that we import, or when you're planting any kind of plants that are not native in your garden also, or anywhere in our ecosystem. It could be dangerous, it could be invasive, and it can suppress native species, and it can endanger ecosystems that we live in. Consequences of biodiversity. We already mentioned few of them. So we have disruption in food chain. What happens when we lose producers like plants? Then herbivores don't have enough to eat, so they extinct, and after that it goes to the predators. They don't have enough food. And when you don't have predators to keep another species under control, then what happens? If we lose, for example, wolf, then maybe the population will grow of rabbits. And rabbits then eat a lot of grass and plants, and we lose that in ecosystem, which leads to soil erosion and habits endangered and degraded. Can someone, I'm sorry, I thought that someone is speaking. Okay, so when we lose the biodiversity, when we lose the plants, when we lose the forests, or we pollute rivers or oceans, we are also in risk of food security, of food shortage. The food comes, sometimes some of the species are unavailable. You see that some of them, when you're, for example, here a long time ago, one kind of fish, we call it bacala, I don't know how it's on English. It was like food for poor, because there were so many of that fish in Adriatic Ocean, in Adriatic Sea, and during the years it was so overexploited that today, thank you, Marco. That today bacala is, I think, one of the most expensive fish you can buy here in Split, at least. So that's what happens when we overexploit one kind of species. We lost essential ecological functions, as we mentioned. We are in danger of more and more consequences of climate change. As you can see, the rise of temperature and rise of sea level, it causes floods. Rise of the temperature causes polar bear not to have any piece of ice to live on. And we have all kinds of degradation of the nature and degradation of the ecosystem. When you, not only that our some kind of basic needs are in danger when we destroy ecosystems or biodiversity, we also lose our cultural and natural heritage that we have. Good practices and solutions. So regarding restoration and conservation of biodiversity, we have examples like national parks and nature parks. These examples that you see now are from Croatia, and they safeguard habitats and species. When you have a place or a part or area that is protected, that it can be overused, or you can't build anything over that, or spread habitats for humans, then you have places like this where you can conserve biodiversity and our natural heritage also. The example here, we show it a lot on our education about permaculture. You have here on your left side, it's a picture of greening the desert, Jordan. So it's a pioneering permaculture project that demonstrates how degraded and arid land can be transformed in a fertile, productive ecosystem by using techniques like water harvesting, planting drought-resistant species, and the project shows that even the desert landscapes can support biodiversity. Na zdravlje, Anita, ako vi pišete, kašljete. So here is important also that this project was not possible without the help of the community, without a good permaculture design. To restore the ecosystem and to restore the possibility of people to live and thrive here. We have also, it's a few years ago, I think this project started, Drava Life, Integrated River Management. It's also restoration project aimed to revitalize the natural dynamics of Drava and its floodplains by reconnecting old river branches, restoring wetlands, improving habitats. The project supported numerous plants and animal species and restored and protected the habitats. Now you can see here good practices and solutions that most of us can carry out, so it doesn't have to be on such a large scales, or you don't have to involve different species of government institutions. You have examples of urban gardening. Here is from Zagreb. They are quite common in Europe cities also. Unfortunately, not in Split, but in Split we can say that we are quite proud of school garden, and our organization participated in this project where school children they helped us to organize and implement botanical garden in their school garden, and they help us prepare the soil. They help us build dry walls and plant bushes and native plants. So it's quite good. And now you can see here those plants are very, very small, but now they're grown, and they have also here their own school classroom on open space. And good practice that you can carry out with your groups are pollinator streets. I don't know if you heard about that. So you can use any green area in your neighborhood and plant seeds. Okay, maybe sometimes it's not legal if you don't ask anyone, but if something like this grows and it's beautiful and it doesn't interact with anything or disrupt anything, then it's a great way to increase biodiversity in cities. And one of the possibilities how you can increase biodiversity and help pollinators and insects to survive the winter is building a bug hotel. For bug hotels, you can use any kind of recycled material where you can build something like this, and you see you created bedrooms for our guests, insect guests, where they can stay through the whole winter. So now I stated here practical part, and in curriculum that will be a result of this project, you will have a description of each activity that you can carry out. For younger students, maybe building a bug hotel or make a biodiversity map of a garden. It's more like creating a visual representation of various species and habitats within their garden. It can be school garden, it can be your park in a city or place where you live. For older students, you will have examples of activities where they explore biodiversity, nature versus city. So this will take 2 trips. One time you will take them to the nearest park or the nearest woods or forest, where they can identify all the species they can see, and to see how biodiversity exists there, and how it looks, and who supports whom, and who is connected to whom. And then they will go to the city to observe the level of biodiversity in city. After that, they will make a comparison, and you can talk about that, discuss, and maybe find out the ways how you can increase biodiversity in cities. And by the examples that I already show you, maybe you can organize some activities or activities that can help to increase biodiversity in your community. Online activities, if you're having an online education like this one, there will be examples of ecosystem puzzles, who is missing, identifying keystones, designing a resilient biodiverse garden. And what I found out, if you, during the preparation of this webinar, if you want to have breakout groups, because you will need them for these online activities, don't use Google Meet. Use another platform where you can make those activities to carry out. So these are the reflection questions that you can go through with your youngsters and with the children or audience that you are going this topic through, and talk about everything that they heard and find out, and maybe even to give their own, of course, to give them own impression or thinking about biodiversity, why is it important, and why is it important for us to safeguard biodiversity in our community. Okay, that would be everything for today. I'm sorry that the Webfly didn't went as I thought it would be, but maybe with youngsters you will have, or children, they will be more they're willing to participate in this activity. Marco, we can try it again next time. Maybe we can make online meeting in our organization. Right now we don't have time enough to carry it out during this webinar. I saw a hand up, I think, someone, Anima, Loshin, I can see her. Or do you want to say something?
Oh, no, sorry, it was by mistake. I just wanted to thank you for presentation today. Thank you.
You're welcome. And honestly, when you're working with the youth and children, it's much more effective in person, of course, because you're also listening to me talking and going through slides is not so interesting. It's not so interactive, but you have so many activities that you can go with them. Of course, adapt them to their age or previous knowledge about this topic. And there are so many ideas. Some of them you will find them in the curriculum when it will be finished. And there are so many ideas on internet, and maybe even children and youngsters that you work with will come up with something, some idea or something that you can carry out together and help that our biodiversity and our ecosystem don't completely degrade, and that we don't lose any species anymore, because we are already in the red zone. Thank you for your time.